a self-knowledged person. A jnana yogi or a sthita prajna is he who is a realized person. But a karma yogi is he who is using that jnana for fulfilling that action with the yoga point of view. So we cannot call all karma yogis as jnana yogis or sthita prajnas. But a karma yogi is on the path of sthita prajna. So a jnani or a sthita prajna, how or whom we can call, is his knowledge, his jnana is in such a way that jivatma paramatma aikya jnana. The aikya come to the jivatma paramatma sambandha. It is called aham atma asmi. Aham asmi. I am that atma. That realization, that feeling, that ownness, that maturity comes to a jnani or a person. He become a jnani, we call. So jivatma paramatma aikya jnana, whom we call as a jnani or a realist. But there are people of the what you can say a split personality, where the people feel, yes, I am a jnani, but in action they are slaves to the sense organs, or they will not put it into action whatever knowledge they learned. There are people like that. They call us as split personalities. Everywhere it is there. So that we cannot call as a jnani or atma jnani. And they are slaves to the some sense organs, isn't it? So they have to convert that knowledge into emotional strength, and he who convert the knowledge into emotional strength, then only that will happen. So a karma yogi to jnana yogi, that transformation has to happen. A karma yogi feel he is missing something again. So a karma yogi miss something to get that atma jnana. It is like miss to Mrs. A Mrs. feeling many times. When you are a misser, what do you feel? You feel you are missing something. Then you become a Mrs. Then whether you fulfill that, whatever you missed is a matter of discussion, matter of introspection for you all. So, what a karma yogi miss is that conversion of knowledge into emotional strength and put it into practice. Then he feel that atma paramatma sambandha, the jnana. Okay. So the other aspect of a jnani is, and it doesn't mean that a jnani become a big face. Earlier also we told, he will not laugh on a joke when he listen, or he will not enjoy in a happy situation. Yes, he has to be. He will enjoy whatever the state where he is, but he knows that, and he is having that maturity that this is not permanent. It will fluctuate, it will come and go. That understanding, that knowledge, that maturity a jnani will have. So that misconception should not be there that a jnani will not enjoy the happy situation. He also will dance, he will also enjoy, he will also watch, he will also see the things, he will also take panipuri, but he will not feel that this is what is the life. That maturity he will have. Okay. Or when dukkha comes, ho gaya, sab kuch ho gaya. That attitude also will not be there. Everything has gone. ಏಕೆ ನನಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ದುಃಖ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ನನಗೊಳಗಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ದುಃಖ ಇದೆ, ನನ್ನೊಳಗಡೆ ನನಗೆ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಫಾರ್ ಎ ಜ್ಞಾನಿ such type of immatured decision, immatured thinking also will not be there. So when some dukkha comes, all of a sudden all philosophies will come. ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? ನನಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆಲ್ ಜಗತ್ ಮಿಥ್ಯಾ, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಲ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಡಿಲ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಥಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್. ಸೊ ಆ ತರ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಫಾರ್ ಎ ಜ್ಞಾನಿ. ದಟ್ ಮೆಚುರಿಟಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್. ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಅರೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ದುಃಖ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ, ಆಶ್ರಮ್ ಹುಡುಕಕ್ಕೆ, or in search of different ashrams, people will run away when any problem comes. So he is not a matured jnani or a siddha prajna or such. So in a dukkha comes also, he feels that yes, it is there, part of life, it goes, and sukha comes. That attitude of maturity will be there. So emotional strength, emotional maturity, he will convert the jnana. So, and a balanced state in both the ways, he will be a balanced. So and so will not be a reason for my happiness. So and so will not be the reason for my sorrow or my happiness. That way of balancing will be there for a jnani. So he will feel for that, for his own growth, his own development. So any type of clouded thinking will not be there. He will be that maturity he will show. That's why, so Swami Chinmayananji says, we all came alone, or we have come alone, we have to travel alone, and ultimately we have to go alone. So that the thinking of, I have come alone, I have to live alone, or the travel alone, and ultimately we have to go alone only, isn't it? So alone to be, or alone to the alone, all alone is life. Alone to the alone, or all alone is life. That is what is Swami Chinmayananji is told. Alone to the alone, all alone is life. So that way of the maturity and the strength that he will acquire, and that way we can call him a sthita prajna. So the important is here converting this knowledge into emotional strength. Whatever sadhana we do, there are so many hurdles. Many a times when you do in the sadhana, yes, that is we feel, yes, I become matured enough, or I can divert my mind, I can change. There are so many ways in which, yes, I have become a jnani, I have become a, that maturity has come. That way of what you can say, the heroism or overconfidence comes, and many times we fall, or many sadhus, many sages, many jnanis, stop their sadhana. They stop their sadhana, and it can become a great dangerous step which they will be taking. So that sadhana has to be continued all along in our life. So like our yoga asanas, what we are doing it, or asanas, pranayama, let it be part of your daily life. Like the same way our studies of Vedanta, our studies of Gita, our studies of, yes, after studying the Gita, everything is, I am by hearted, I know all the slokas, or I know all the meaning. Nothing like that. We have to study, we have to contemplate, we have to live. That nididhyasanam, that sravanam, mananam, nididhyasanam has to be always continued in this spiritual path. There is no, the continuation has to be, that ending is not there. That should become part of our daily life, then only the sadhana become, part of our daily life. That we need to understand. Okay, it is not for so let me complete all these 700 slokas, and let me put a full stop to the this what is called Vedanta studies or Gita studies. That should not happen for a sadhaka. That sadhana has to be support. Sadhana has to support you for gaining that ultimate knowledge. Okay, this is what we have seen in the previous slokas. So now 59th. So in the 58th sloka also we have seen Yada Sangharate Chayam Kurmonganiva Sarvashaha Indriyani Indriyarthebhyaha Tasya Prajna Pradishtita. So like till how he withdraw its limbs, Sthita Prajna, he control his sense organs and withdraws when any object of distraction comes. So that is also we need to understand. Now the 59th sloka will say Vishaya vinivartande niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartade. Who will chant?
I'll read, sir.
Yes. Vishaya vinivartande
Vishaya vinivartante. Vishaya vinivartante.
niraharasya dehinaha
Niraharasya dehinaha. Niraharasya dehinaha.
rasavarjam rasopyasya
Rasavarjam rasopyasya. Rasavarjam rasopyasya.
param drishtva nivartate.
Param drishtva nivartate. Param drishtva nivartate.
Vishaya vinivartande niraharasya dehinaha
Vishaya vinivartante. Niraharasya dehinaha.
rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate.
Rasavarjam rasopyasya. Param drishtva nivartate. Yes, sir.
Yes, good. So Vishayaha vinivartande niraharasya dehinah rasavarjam rasaha api asya param drishtva nivartade become nivartade. You will read the meaning.
Yes, sir, I'll read.
Yeah, niraharasya.
Okay. Yeah. Niraharasya, for the one who does not feel the sense organs. Dehinaha, for the one who indwells his body. Vishaya, senses. Vinivartate, come back to oneself.
Vartande.
Vinivartante, come back to oneself. Rasavarjam, leaving the longing behind. Param
Drishtva.
Param drishtva, having seen. Asya, of this person. Rasa, longing. Api, even. Nivartante, goes.
Nivartade.
Yeah. For one who does not feed the senses come back to oneself, leaving the longing behind. So, having seen Brahman, when the self is known, even the longing goes away. So,
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Anybody would like to chant?
I will chant, Master.
Yeah.
विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्ज्यं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते.
Okay, good. So, what does it mean? Vishaya vinivartande. So, niraharasya dehinaha. We are every day seeing nirahara of different people. They are doing nirahara. What is this nirahara? Here, nirahara is one for the one who does not feed the sense organs. So, ahara is like pratyahara. Pratyahara means what? The ahara for the sense organs. So, control of the sense organs from getting the food for it. So there nirahara also one who does not feed the sense organs. We generally think of only one sense organs. What is that sense organ? We are bothered only about one sense organ. है क्या? खाना पीना. उसी में हमारा सेंस ऑर्गन्स है ना. निराहार, मैं निराहार कर रहा हूं, गांधी जी ने निराहार किया है, तो वो निराहार only for one sense organs we identify. So nirahara is not only for that one sense organ. There is number of other sense organs also, other 4 more or 5 more we can say, including the mind. So all these sense organs, that ahara niraharasya dehinaha. So he who is not giving that sense organ, rasavarjam vishaya, he who is not feeding that food for the sense organs, rasavarjam vishaya. So his vishaya, his mind get controlled. Even then, rasavarjam vishaya vinivartande. So it doesn't mean that if you withdraw the sense organs from the object of enjoyment, we are controlling everything. Asya rasa api. The rasa in that, asya rasa api, in the rasa will remain. The taste will remain. I am not, and param drishtva nivartade. But that also will go when you attach yourself, join yourself with the nivartade. That is the highest self, or the self-knowledge, or the highest, the supreme reality. With that, if I link myself, then the rasa also will go. Here means, when I am not taking some, nowadays food streets are not there, I am not taking panipuri or what is can say the, but doesn't mean that when I say panipuri, many of your mouth will start watering if you like it. Okay? So the rasa is there in all of our mouth. If watering has come means the rasa is still there. Yes, I am not taking. Today, even during lunch also, we are discussing the same aspect. So there nowadays, all food streets, everything has stopped. So many days over here, we are not gone outside, or we are not taken food from outside. Mean the rasa is there with us. Even though food is not there, or the outside food we are not taking, inside the rasa is there with me and you, everybody, isn't it? So that is what, if that also will live, that also can live when you have that highest attitude, when you align with the highest. That is what is. So Krishna says there are 2 types of addictions. What can be? There are 2 types of addictions. So one is sensory addictions and mental addictions. Sensory addictions, yes, all the sense organs are in search of its food. but the mental addictions are there. It is more deeper. That lingers for something, means that attachment and the rasa will remain when you have that mental addictions. So physical addiction or the sense organs, if you are getting addicted, that is for time being, but mentally we carry forward many a times, or that linger will be there. So many times when you stop something by force or with somebody's advice, the linger will be there, that rasa remains. And when a congenial atmosphere creates, when congenial atmosphere, when it get created, we again fall into that. That happens many a times. So it is very important to have that control over the mental addictions. How we can control the mental addictions? What Krishna is saying? These addictions, this rasa, this nirahara, we can do it by, how we can do that? Sharmila ji, what is the solution?
Doing prayer, sir, meditation.
Adding yourself, joining yourself, or toward that supreme power. Okay. So that binding, this rewinding is many a times happens. This rewinding and binding is what is happens many a times. So this binding we have to do whenever this unbinding of sense organs happens. So there is a lot of chances of unbinding happens when sadhana stops, when the path get diverted, the objective get diverted, the goal get diverted. So with that supreme goal, when the journey continues, there are many obstacles. The sense organs are also one of the obstacles which divert your attention. This craving or the urge or desires or everything, this rasas. So then rasa is there toward the supreme. Rasa toward the I is there. Towards Krishna is there. When towards that Krishna's consciousness is there, then rest of the things we can avoid. So it is not by suppression. Again, we need to understand, it is not by suppressing the desire. It is very dangerous again. By forcefully when you try is very dangerous. So growing out, understanding the reality into it. So that rasa will continue. So that is very important. So it is not by suppressing. So it has to come by rasa towards the higher thing, towards the Om, towards that supreme power. So that way we can control these desires. So when there is a highest ananda is there, when that supreme ananda, the much more ananda we can able to enjoy in that paramananda. That is what is here it is mentioned about nivartade. That is I, that supreme power. That is when it is superior, when the spiritual ananda is superior. So param drishtva nivartade, param drishtva, that supreme energy, supreme power only can make you more, what you can say, the matured enough to align with the energy, that power. So for that vidya is required, the knowledge is required, that jnana is required. So a jnani, a vidwan or a jnani, so he can be a grahastha, he can be a sannyasi, whatever it may be. As I told, court suit person also can become a jnani. So he will enjoy the worldly pleasures and the same time he will align with the supreme rasa, supreme being, and enjoy that ananda, because for him this is what is called byproduct, or a whatever ananda he will enjoy, that will be a byproduct of the higher product, higher ananda which he will be enjoying throughout. If he continue his sadhana towards the that binding, when he continues, he will be able to enjoy that. He will be able to live into that. That is what the sadhana also need to be continued, so that he will be able to reach into that. So for him, for a jnani, that happiness, that supreme joy is highest, and other joy, other happiness, other pleasures are insignificant. Okay, for his striving is not for that. If he get, okay, he become what is called, he will enjoy, he will be happy with that. But for him, the strive is toward the highest supreme, the ananda, the joy which will be. Earlier also, one of the sloka we have seen, when abundant tank, the abundant water source is there with you, why you should complain about what the tanker water? In tanker water, there can be worms, there can be many insects, or scarcity can be, it comes and it goes. But you have a source, you have abundant source of water, and you are able to give to others also. That also we have seen, isn't it? So that way, abundant source of happiness is with you. Why should worry about the small happiness which we can enjoy in the worldly life, where the sense organs are in search of? There he will not be, so he will enjoy, he will smile, he will not be have a long face. So he will smile, he will enjoy, he will happy, he will may dance, he will attend all functions also. Arey, jnani will not go to marriage function, he will not go for a birthday, nothing like that. Or he may marry, he will have children. All this will be the worldly pleasure also. So that is very important. Otherwise, it is not making you to a sannyasi. It is in worldly living itself, in the worldly life itself, in the marriage, in the earning money, getting a job, or doing all your what you can say, the responsibilities, obligations, by fulfilling itself. Let us continue the sadhana for attaining that higher, and that is the highest form of happiness. When that highest happiness, when we are striving for it, this small happiness will become insufficient, what you can say, will not be significant, isn't it? That way we need to understand. Don't think it is not approachable. Don't think that is something beyond. We always say Swami Vivekananda is a great person. He is there and he will be, and doesn't mean that he is an avatara. He is a, something saptarshi. Don't think like that. He is a ordinary man with extraordinary capacities. We too can become like that. We feel like a friend or with a ideal personality, then only we can reach into that, right? It is not unreachable place where a jnani or a sthita prajna. It is just not for a philosophy to understand, philosophy to study. It is for craving, for us to have that intense desire to reach into that. Have that intention with us. For all the sadhakas, we are all our sadhakas. That's the reason we are studying the Gita. So, as a sadhaka, let us have the striving for enjoying the worldly life itself. Don't drag yourself. Don't stop there alone. There is a higher dimensions of happiness which we need to strive for it. Okay, so don't keep a big long face and be a jnani. Smile and enjoy the worldly pleasure also, and strive for the higher dimensions in the life. So that is what we so there is no harm. Why I say that A sadhaka should not stop watching movie or going seeing serial or the what you can say delicious food, or we should not enjoy or don't go to mall, don't purchase, nothing like that. These are it is part of the what is called sansaric jivana. So in the sansaric jivana, these all enjoyment, family enjoyment, everything is there, but enjoy that there alone, and don't strive only for that. That is what is Krishna wanted to advise. That's why it is very much applicable for a family holder also. Jnani and yogi, or what you can say, Siddha Prajna and all is not unbreakable words. Don't think like that. It is breakable, digestible, chewable, assimilatable. I don't know whether that word is there in English or not, but it can also be assimilated. It can be part of our life. So what way it should be? Earlier also, I think I told, when you watch a 5-day cricket match, if 3 days already you won the match, how that players will play in the rest of the 2 matches? Already they won 3 matches, and it is a 5-day series, and 3 days already won. The third and fourth, how they will play? They will enjoy. They don't have bother whether they win or not. They are enjoying the life. They are enjoying the play. That way can we put it in our day-to-day life also, this aspect, these thoughts. So let us, all the worries or unwanted things, if you put in our head, and so whatever ananda we will be enjoying in it, that become a bonus. Okay, that become a bonus ananda. So we are so and so anandas we become. Ananda Swarupa become. So whether it comes or not, bonus is like that only, right? Whether it comes or not, we are happy. So unexpected contribution, it becomes this ananda, whatever worldly enjoyments. So be cool, whatever possible, as much possible, be cool, be. Otherwise, the Vedanta will go. Vedanta will become. Don't be, unnecessarily all the worldly problems. Don't indulge into, and don't become Bhadragali, or many times we change our attitude, and unnecessarily worldly problems. If it is not there, or Rakshasas, or what Hiranyakashipu, or what you can say, there was a Durvasa. Many times we become Durvasa, and Ravana become like that. So no need to attain into that. And so let us live happily, enjoy. Arthaita, Jyotirani ji. So this sense organs, how we can control. That is what. For a diseased person, for a mentally disturbed person, he will be controlling many times. If you have a particular disease or a problem, many times we will stop eating so and so, or we will not watch something, or we will stop. So that is stopping the sense organs is not this aspect. Or withdrawing, like a turtle, if you withdraw the senses when a particular situation comes, that alone we should not look into it. There we are striving for a particular momentary, for a particular period of time, we are stopping it, right? So that is because of some issues. So that is not pratyahara. That is not control of the senses. So even if you stop, for example, if you have a disease or any fever is there, you cannot eat ice cream. There are people who eat ice cream also during fever time also, isn't it? So general I am telling, general. So if generally if it is there something like that, so that rasa will continue after the fever. Let me eat. If something is purchased at home, and if you are having some problem and you cannot eat, then what will be the condition? After this you should bring. After this you should take me. After this I will see. Isn't it? That striving will be there because the rasa is continuing after that also, isn't it? So we are becoming the slave to that, no? Or when a congenial atmosphere comes or a opportunity comes, we try to enjoy that. So here we need to understand that this striving will come only for people who are having that the lineage. For example, for a farmer only will go to the market and purchase the things which is required for farming, right? A lawyer only will go to the bookstore, or he will purchase the books on law. The farmer will not go to the market and purchase the books on law. There is no use. What I mean to say is, a yoga practitioner only will go and purchase the yoga mat. Otherwise, no use. So that material will reach to the people, he who is having that desire, he who is needed. For them only that materials in the market will reach. Isn't it? So it doesn't mean that it will vice versa will not happen. So unless until the craving is not there, we may see many things in the market. Window shopping, we do it. We will not enter unless and that craving is not there. We will not enter into it, or we will not purchase, or we will not bring into it. That is what is in pratyahara we called. So things which is necessary, that we collect it and keep it, isn't it? So he who is having that craving, that is what is we need to have that control, that craving for the things which is not necessary. And so that will come to, that is also very important aspect. So this diffusion will happen. So this vasanas, all the vasanas also can be diffused with the knowledge of Brahma, knowledge of supreme knowledge. So once if that diffusing in the sense means what? When the seed is fried, that seed is of have no use. We cannot what you can say, sow the seeds if the seed is fried. So that vasanas get diffused with the supreme knowledge, and it will not hinder, it will not go in different status also, whether it is nidra state, or the turiya state, what you can say, the sushupti state, or what you can say, the awakened wakeful state, it will not get disturbed. Because if in the wakeful state, in the nidra state, in the sleeping state, if you have seen a dream of being a very wealthy and rich person, that will not leave, that richness of the dream will not leave the purity of that wakeful state. And there is no use of that state which we have dreamed of in the dreaming state. So in the dream state, even if you have seen a dream of, is not affecting the purity of that person who is in the wakeful state, isn't it? So that vice versa also it happens in the because that highest form, there is nothing going to affect in the turiya state. Whatever is there, that is what is making us perfect. Okay, so these all sense organs, the play which we need to understand through this sloka, and this coming few slokas also the same aspect, where how we connect yourself to the supreme, that will make you to control the sense organs. So vishaya vinivartande niraharasya dehinah rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartade. Okay, understood? Shall we go for the next sloka? 60th sloka will go. Yatato hyapi kaunteya purushasya vipaschitaha indriyani pramadhini harandi prasabham manaha. Who will chant?
I will chant.
Yeah. Yatato hyapi kaunteya
यदतो ह्यपि कौन्तेय यदतो ह्यपि कौन्तेय
purushasya vipaschitaha
पुरुषस्य विपश्चितः पुरुषस्य विपश्चितः
indriyani pramadhini
इन्द्रियाणि प्रमादीनि इन्द्रियाणि प्रमादीनि
haranti prasabham manaha
हरन्ति प्रसभं मनः हरन्ति प्रसभं मनः
yatato hyapi kaunteya purushasya vipaschitaha
यततो ह्यपि कौन्तेय पुरुषस्य
vipaschitaha
विपश्चितः
indriyani pramadhini haranti prasabham manaha
इन्द्रियाणि प्रमादीनि हरन्ति प्रसभं
haranti
मनः
prasabham manaha.
हरन्ति प्रसभं मनः
Yes. Yatataha hi api kaunteya purushasya vipaschitaha indriyani pramadhini haranti prasabham manaha. Yeah, read the meaning also.
Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, he because Yatantaha of the one who makes effort,
Yatataha.
Yatataha of the one who makes effort, Api even, Vipanchitaha, one of the who sees clearly,
Vipaschitaha.
Vipachitaha, okay, of the one who sees clearly, Api means even, Purishasya means of the person, Indriyani means sense, organs, Pramadhini means very powerful, Haranti take away, Prasabhava means forcefully, Manaha means the
Prasabham.
okay. Prasabham means
Prasabham.
forcefully. Prasabham forcefully. Manaha means the mind. The
Yes.
meaning is because the powerful senses of even the person who makes effort, who sees clearly, forcefully take the mind away. O Arjuna.
So the powerful senses of the even this person who make the effort, who sees clearly, forcefully take the mind away, O Arjuna. So a statement, a general statement here gives. So the mind will get dragged. The very strong mind, a great strong mind, a person who is having, his mind also, the sense organs get dragged. So it is very difficult. It will be a difficult task to control it. So what will be the task that comes in the next sloka? So indriyani pramadhini. Pramadhini is here it is used as a strong weapon or very a strong apparatus. Here the pramadhini actual meaning is the rod which is used for churning the curd. So pramadhini, a rod used to churn the curd. Okay, churning rod is called. So this that rod is for what? For indriyas, for the sense organs. And what is churning? The mind. So this mind also into become violent if it is not used properly. So many times a normal person, or a, in the society, we can see many times this disturbances, a word or a particular scene or a particular, if you see a watch or a particular word, if you hear, that alone is enough for to be violent, to create a volcano in our society, in the family, in the day-to-day life, isn't it? One word uttering is throughout the life we will go on repeating. Yes, so and so has told so and so. They will go on uttering that. So we remember the lifelong. Many times, if all these sense organs are concerned, which one is most dangerous? Sense organs, if you take all the
Not
5
so.
sense organs,
Mind,
Huh?
mind, sir. Mind.
mind is the 6th sense organs. The 5 sense organs first we discuss.
Mush, tongue, tongue.
Yeah,
Tongue.
mouth. Then one more is
Eye.
very dangerous.
Sir, eyes, ears, nose.
I
I didn't ask what are the sense organs. What is most dangerous sense organ?
What we hear.
Yeah. What we hear and what we talk, or what so and so talk, isn't it? So these sense organs, the ears and the mouth or the tongue, is very sensitive organs, and because of that many problems happens in our day-to-day life. So unless and until if we are not alert, it can create a lot of turbulences, isn't it? So in that case, if that turbulence or in that particular situation, no Vedanta or no Gita will help. Many times we become slaves, isn't it? Then we will blame, or your family members will blame. अरे तुम तो गीता सीख रहा है, तुम भी ऐसा ही बोलते हैं क्या? ऐसा होता है क्या? That situation also comes, no? At least for me it comes. So you study Gita, but how it happens, this is what in our day-to-day life you may not tell, but it is there. So this sense organs we can control only when that assimilation happens. So assimilated food, earlier also I think we discussed, this assimilated food only become vitamins, or it will become useful, isn't it? So the same way, this assimilated knowledge only gives that result. That's why Krishna is saying that avoid this violent emotional turbulences. Avoid this emotional turbulence, the violent emotional turbulences. So that where we need to protect it. When you are into the path of sadhana, when you are growing, when you are developing, when you are learning, when you are a sadhaka of Gita, Vedanta or yoga, it is very easy to divert or spoil the things. It is very easy to spoil. How a plastering is being done, newly plastered platform or a floor, how it is to be protected. It is strong cement is used. Even then, if you don't protect for a particular period of time, it can spoil. But after protecting or curing it, or pouring water, or protecting from the animals or the human animals, or vehicles, we cannot be what you can say, it can spoil. So protecting is very important. So the knowledge is to be protected with our sadhana. and that knowledge alone only can protect you. So for that, we cannot say that you control all the sense organs. Is it possible? All the sense organs are there. We cannot make the sense organs are villain. Don't keep the sense organs are villain. Whether sense organs are villain or not. Huh?
Sometimes
It is easy, once if you control the sense organs, we can will be easier for us to grow toward the higher dimensions if you have that, if you are able to control that, right? So we can come to a conclusion that sense organs are the villain. Do you agree?
Sir, actually, if we put it in a correct path, it will help us, no?
Yeah. So putting that in the correct path is very important. Means the sense organs become a pramana. So a sense organs are a what is called attaining that, a means of pramana, a karana it becomes. It is required. It is there. Unless only sense organs is not there, life become miserable. It is necessary. So only when you go with the fancies, isn't it? Then the problem will be there. It is like going to a garden and watching and enjoying and coming back. When you carry something from the garden, the problem will be there. So this carrying is the problem. So sense organs are also to be utilized in that sense. Okay. That way we have to control it, protect it, use it, intellectually utilize it, creatively utilize it. With the dharma based utilization, we have to do the sense organs also. Then it is get balanced and we can protect it, the sense organs. So we cannot अरे हम तो क्या बोलते हैं कोई ऐसा है ना, some sadhus are there, rules are there, they should not look at the women, they should not go out of the ashram. It is some rules were made. Of course, it may be protecting them, but rules alone will not make we control the senses, right? The jnana, the knowledge has to protect and align yourself with your sadhana day to day, and intelligently we have to use it. That is what is Krishna says about Dhamma also in this. So closing or going away or running away or protecting yourself, let me not to see, let me not to hear, let me not talk, not like that. Intelligently use the sense organs so that this protection can happen, isn't it? So in the Ramayana, it is saying the Maricha came as a golden deer, and Sita was in crave of taking it or that. So Sita could not control the sense organs. Though Jnana has told, who is Jnana or a Jnani? Rama only, isn't it? So Rama, when he or Lakshmana, he told it is the hallucination, but she wanted the craving. Because of that, she has to suffer a lot, or she has to be away from Rama, isn't it? So momentary happiness, unless if we don't control with our knowledge or the advice when we get it from the knowledgeable people, it will drag you. Many times the people are taking the dog for walking, whether you take the dog for walking or dog is taking you for walking, many times the question will come after seeing, isn't it? Many times dogs are taking the owner for a walking, because where the dog wanted, there the owner will go. The same thing, the sense organs, where it wanted, whether we goes or we have that control. The sense organs are our slaves, or we become slave to the sense organs. There we need to introspect. Okay, that is very important aspect. So that alertness is also very important. That also we need to see. So that characteristic of the sense organs, unless if you don't go beyond it, you cannot achieve the goal. So as a statement, it is told, and it is very important statement for all sadhakas like us all. So in our sadhana, there can be different obstacles which comes, and how we are controlling these senses. If there are many things, the golden deer will come in our path of the journey, isn't it? So how we are able to, unless if you don't control it with the knowledge, with the maturity, with the love, with the perfection, with our attaching yourself to the higher dimensions, then otherwise it can damage in our so don't get attached to the other aspects. So don't get don't do have that overconfidence also in our life. So don't feel also this is enough, or this is I am a Siddha Purusha, or such type of situation should not be there. So without suppressing, mastery is what is the Krishna says. So whatever be the solution to overcome this is nothing but the mastery over it, not the suppression. Okay. So suppression means what? What can be the difference between suppression and mastery? Tell. What is the difference between mastery and suppression? Anybody, if you are listening properly? Sita Lakshmi ji, tell. What does it mean here by?
No, suppression means suppression means you decide that you don't want at all.
It will be there. The rasa is still
You
there.
have the desire. You have the desire, but you don't take it.
Okay.
But mastery means you have seen it. You feel, yes, this is not required for me.
Yes. So imposed denial or stopping is suppression. So imposed denying or denial is suppression. So mastery is, yes, it is available, but we give value for growing, value for something else, and which is assimilated with me. Okay, ये तो इतना ही है ना? Oh, that attitude, isn't it? That way, otherwise it will drag. Many times a drunkard or the people who drink, they will think, yes, I have the mastery, I can stop any time, beginning time, I have control over the bottle. Okay? But in long run, what happens? I can stop any time, that will happen, but the long run, the bottle will control the person. Unless and until bottle is not there, so his life will become miserable, isn't it? The long run, that assimilation will not happen. So the bottle will rule over the person, drunkard. So it is very easy to say, I have control over everything. Yes, I have control. I can anytime can stop it. This way of dragging the mind into should not happen. That is what is Krishna himself says so. Okay, so that way we need to understand this sloka. The next Tani Sarvani Sanyami Samyam Yukta Asida Matparaha. That I think we'll see next day. Wednesday. Anything? Many are not attending. And whatever fees last few days, last few months, whatever the donations or whatever you paid fees, that and all we paid to a boy who wanted a laptop in our hometown. So for him we donated. So your donations were utilized properly for online classes for a boy who was a poor boy. Okay.
Nice. Sir.
We'll conclude it. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Tassat. Sri Krishnarpanamastu. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you. See you.
Thank you, sir.
Shubhratri.
Dhanyawad.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.